Right, g'day team. Hope we're all well. Let me do a little bit of adjustment. Boom, Bob's your uncle. Here we go. Right, g'day team. Don't you worry about that row, bro. We will be fine. It's not unappealing. It's just long. Okay, it's just long, as I said in the description. Just steady, do some miles. Okay. Oh yeah, we're looking good. I really hope we don't have an issue with connection like we did last week. That's all I'm going to say. Hi team, good to see a lot of people back. Yeah, honestly, this today is just about putting some time under the belt. Okay. Good thing about today, if you're not feeling it, we've all been there, all done that. Jump on and do one. Okay. Sort of feeling it, but not. Jump on, do two. Okay. Want to go the whole hog, do all of them. Okay. It's 45 minutes. A little bit as well because it's going to put something into the library. So when you come to revisit, when you're looking for some inspiration, you'll be able to jump on, and there's a good workout here, 45 minutes long. Boom. Okay. Focus today, we're just going to work on our technique and good steady rhythm. Okay, that's the focus. I've just really hampered down on all the parts of the stroke, keeping it continuous. Okay, as you'll see in the second set, we're just going to do 3-minute pieces, and we're just going to change between 20 and 22 rate. Okay, so just up and down, up and down, up and down. Mixes it up, gives us a chance to feel the difference between the two, just move things a little bit easier, okay? Easier and quicker, optimal word, not harder. Just want to keep things moving, okay? And then in that last set, just going up every 5 minutes, boom, 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 20, 22, 24. As I say, the one thing about all of this stuff as well, especially in workouts like today, as I said right before, if you're not feeling it, do two, piss off, don't care. Okay, you've done some work, it's good. And even on the last one, if you're struggling, you're battling, whatever, don't go up to the 24. Okay, pretty easy. You keep it on what you're doing, you just listen to the cues about what's happening, and we're done. Okay, and I think that's one of the good things about all the stuff that we do is that you don't necessarily have to hit the rates that are set. They're a guide. They might not be for you. We've got a whole range of people on the channel. And so it's just a matter of making sure that we do as much as we can to include everybody, try and fit all our different styles, shapes, whatever we're doing into one program. One live stream. Okay, so that's about us. Let's jump in. We don't have to do a huge amount of chatting today. We don't have to do a huge amount of warm-up either because we're going to get into it pretty quickly. So let's get sorted. Let's jump on. Only need 2, 3, 4 minutes warming up, get the blood flowing, and then we're straight into it. Okay, so let us rock and roll. Oh, I love my coffee. Black gold. Okay, so warm into it. As always, just however you feel like you need to loosen the bodies up, get things moving. Some motion going with the body. Okay, this is good. And just slowly, just stretch everything out. Once the blood starts flowing, we put our bodies into the position where we want to be holding our form. Okay, then we start to just press on a little bit more with the pressure. Okay.
nice and comfortable. Feel the body movements, you know, you've got time to think about where everything is without being under the pressure of having to hit numbers. Take time to just feel the hang, have a look, have a conscious moment to think about where parts of the stroke are, how the body's moving, the setup, you know, all of the above, and just slowly mold it in while we're getting ourselves ready to push out the power, okay? Start making it nice and continuous. Feel the roll into the front, the compress, and the push away. Okay, good. So now we should be reasonably loose. We can just, for the last 45 seconds or so here, just press on the speed a little bit more. Okay? Just slowly, every couple of strokes, just think about the push. Feel that connection. Feel that sequence. Open the body. One continuous push. Okay? Pushing that down. Okay, another 5 or 6 strokes. Done. Okay? Easy as that. Right, we haven't broken down yet. That was very weird last week, I'm not going to lie, as to why it did that. Okay, so good to go. Okay, as I say, let's not muck around too long. We'll get straight into it now. Okay, we're going select workout, new workout, straight onto our intervals time. Okay, shuffle across, chuck in the 1, add the 5. Okay, 2-minute rest. I'm being generous today, 2 minutes. Okay, I'll leave that flashing just for a second while everyone gets ready. And yeah, and then we're good to go. Okay, so the first one, we're just going to truck along. We're going to get into a beautiful rhythm. We'll build into it a little bit, okay, so we don't have to start off straight on numbers. Okay, take a little bit of time, minute or so, couple of minutes, build into it, and then we're just going to hold good, steady pace, comfortable rhythm, okay, thinking about everything that we're doing for that first part, okay? All right, the old straps ready to go. All right, let's press the check box. Lock and load. Here we go. Okay, first set, just nice and steady, 20 rate. Let's get this groove on. Let's really feel our machine work for us. And then let's get our rhythm so that we can sit back, listen to the flywheel spin, and just keep it really continuous. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? Attention. Go. So as I mentioned, we're just going to get into this. We're going to get into our rhythm. We're really going to sit back in our ratio, our work-rest ratio, where we can feel ourselves make the drive through our sequence of the stroke. Legs sit back with the body, hands coming to us, and then really feel the machine drawing us back to the front. Roll with it. Okay, so the better understanding we get of this work-rest ratio, okay, we can just start to develop a really great appreciation for our output versus our recovery. Okay, we're always going to have the output. The recovery or that rest period coming here is where we're taking our time, we're feeling the machine, we're feeling our body, okay, we're feeling the sit into the front. And it just sets us up for the next stroke. Okay, feel the resistance in our arms around the finish, the draw. Feel the chain trying to pull itself back. Okay, if we're holding tense here, we never allow the handle to flow around the finish. Okay, and a part of that is with the hands leading the way out over top of the knees. It's really the catalyst to drawing the body, following everything forward, because we're effectively just following the chain. Okay, that's why the chain stays taut, because the machine's dragging it back. We get the bodies over, but we're basically riding the chain on that recovery. Okay, if we have to force it or whatever, maybe we do need a new bungee in the machine. Okay, so just take a moment to feel how the machine is creating our recovery. One of the biggest places that people lose potential power, potential energy, get too fatigued, is by the manufacturing of getting back to the catch. Okay, or being too quick, slowing down, being tense and tight. Okay, the amount of relaxation when we flow back here is energy we do not have to spend, and then that allows us to put all of our resources into the drive. So keep focusing on this recovery, the movement, the continuation of it. It's just one motion. Okay, we try not to perfect it, but it just keeps moving, never stops. That's why the row is so hard. We're trying to have a break this way, but it doesn't feel like a break because our heart rates have got up, the muscles are working really well, okay? But the more we stay in the aerobic position, and obviously as relaxed as we can at the high intensity stuff, the longer we can manage things, okay? So let's just focus one more part of our recovery. I know we're all working well. I'm puffing and panting away. So let's just focus now on what's happening on the last part of the recovery coming into the catch. Okay, just take note. How does it feel? Does it feel like you're coming to a stop? Or does it feel like we're coming in and we've sort of got to roll away? Okay, remembering that we're trying to get the connection, but the peak force isn't there off the front. Okay, it's through the middle of the stroke. So we connect, and the acceleration through here is where we get the speed. Okay, now if anyone wants to have a look, press the second button down on your screen. Okay, it brings up the force curve. And you'll see where the top of the force curve is. And that's where the peak is, okay? That's where we get it. So while we're thinking about rolling into the front, we're not thinking about being real heavy and solid right at the catch. We're thinking about continuing the speed of the flywheel, picking the gear, and then moving it through the stroke. Okay, if we get too tense at the front, we're just going to burn ourselves out. Okay, so it's finding that balance between getting the pick up, but then also having the hang ability. The long arms, feeling the body open out, okay? So keep this recovery really well. Keep this focus as we start to compress into the front, okay? Keep this mindfulness about the turnaround, okay? And let's focus a little bit now on how we're producing the speed, okay? So first and foremost, remember tension in the chest and the shoulders. It's just going to wear us down, okay? We want to have nice long arms, almost pushing away from the handle, leaving it out long. And we open everything out. We hang under the armpits. Okay, right through here, down into the lats. And as we have that hang, we feel the pressure against both feet. We feel the push. We hold that hang through the core. A little bit of weight in the back. And then we just open ourselves out. Okay, we're hinging through the hips. And we want to try, and obviously the word is try, to make sure that the body is opening out after the legs have started to drive. Okay, so the legs have to initiate, but the body starts to come in, and then they both work together. Okay, if we just push and then use the body, we get a disconnect. And at the same time, if we use the body too early, we never quite get the ability to have the addition. Basically, they're multiplying together, right? The legs plus the body. Okay, and when we get that, as you'll see on the force curve, if you're having a nosy at it, that's when both the legs and the body are working together. And that's the point of maximum power. That's where the flywheel is spinning at its fastest. That's where we're producing the most force. Okay? So, remembering it needs to be smooth. We need to try and stay relaxed, really focused on continuation of stroke. Okay, and that's why rowing's very difficult, because there's so much to think about in a very short space of time, and we've got to do it over and over and over again. Okay? So, the last couple of minutes here, let's really start putting everything together. Get the focus. Think about little things in sequence, okay? So, because we can't think about all the parts of the stroke in one go, okay? If you pick a point, you pick the back end, think about the finish, okay? That one was pretty good. Okay, that was better. Moving my hands, okay? Now you've got that, let's think about the hands over the knees. So we've still got the back end. Now we're thinking about the hands forward. Good, okay? Now let's think about the compression into the front. So we keep the other parts working. Focused, coming in. Onto the feet. Feel the compress. Good. Okay, we've got that part good now. Check the other parts. Yeah. Okay, now let's focus the press and the hang. We come in, push and hang. Good. Okay, long arms under the armpits. That's nice. Okay. Now let's think about the legs and the body hanging together. Really good. There it is. Okay, so over the space of nearly 2 minutes, we've thought about all those parts of the stroke, and that's what it takes. Okay? We can't think about every single little part of the stroke every time. Too much. We focus one little part. We try and get that as good as we can. And we focus another part. And so forth. Okay? Good. Really good, team. Okay? Whew. Felt like I did a lot of talking in that one. Okay, so really, really good on a session like today to just have good focus and break down your stroke. Okay, and we got towards that near the end where you can think about one part of the stroke for ages, just to finish, okay? You might be sacrificing other bits and pieces, but that's all right, okay? And then you focus another part of the stroke, coming into the front or around the front, whatever it is, because you can't think about all the parts of the stroke, through body, everything, you know, there's too much to think about. And that's why breaking it down and just thinking about one specific part, okay, make sure I don't hit the body, 3 or 4 strokes, 4 or 5 strokes. Yeah, okay. Now I'm thinking about, am I stopping there? Or have I still got the speed? You know, now, how am I nice and relaxed off the back? Okay, next stroke. Yeah, that one felt better. Oh, that one felt better. Okay, so we've really got to try and break down the stroke as much as we can, but over periods of time, okay? And then when we feel like we're in a really good zone, then we just think about the overall flow and rhythm that we're creating and whether you like that rhythm, okay? And if you're like, no, actually, I'm not really getting the front, okay, now we start thinking about the front. So it takes a bit of mindfulness to really get a handle on all the bits and pieces of the stroke, but at the end of the day, we've just got to keep working on things, try and get more speed out of it, okay? And just really focus on what we're doing. So here we go, moving in. So this one starts at 20. We'll do 3 minutes at 20, 3 minutes at 22, back to 20, up to 22, back to 20, okay? Hopefully my math's good. We'll wait and see. But same again, okay? Because today is low rating, it's giving us the ability to work in our training zone, look towards figuring out parts of our stroke that we need to work on, we need to iron out, we need to smooth on, okay? But at the same time, there's a few other things to think about, like this piece now, okay? So start out again by, in your own heads, breaking down the stroke, feeling parts of the stroke, thinking to yourself, does this feel how I want to feel it? Do I think I can get better? Am I just lifting a bit much off the front? Okay, what can I do to counteract that? Okay, let's just focus on the hang. Okay, so think about the parts, work on them. Okay, I'll run through a lot of it. So now that we're back onto our speeds, let's just focus this relaxation around the turn, this front part where we're compressing with the bodies, the legs, the ankles, we're letting the heels naturally come off and flex. Okay, and we're setting ourselves as we come forward, okay? We're letting the hands lead away. The body's following it as we come forward. We can press, and then we just hang that body weight as we feel both feet. And we feel the momentum. Okay, now getting ready to change up. Remember, all the parts of the stroke move quicker. Here we go. Now, So the hand speed, the recovery speed, and the drive speed are all that little bit easier. Remember, don't get tense about it. Don't think that you have to make more speed, because the fact that we're doing more strokes a minute, if we do more strokes a minute at the exact same power we were doing before, the math tells us that the average will be quicker, okay? So, remembering, keep it all moving, feel the speed of that chain coming towards the body on the drive. Good. Try and have a little bit of relaxation in the hands. Don't want to see white knuckles. You still want to be able to feel, because at the end of the day, remembering that this handle and the chain is helping set us up for the next stroke, okay? So if we can feel that in our hands, we can feel it helping draw us forward. Even though we are on a machine, it still gives us a sense of moving with the resistance, helping set us up for the next stroke. Okay, if we didn't have that, it'd be a completely different kettle of fish. So we can feel that in our fingers and our arms, and that just lets us ride it forward. Okay, so going down 2. Now, just remember, keep the drive, but just have a little bit more patience. Okay, still feeling the chain drawing us back to the front, but just with a little bit more us in control. Okay, and now that we've got our rhythm back to that 20 strokes a minute, let's just focus the reduction of power, okay, to hold our speed and feel the press. And we don't want to feel like at any stage we've got like a grab or a super hard tension, okay? We want to have control in our hands, control through the long arms, down into the lats, and our core. But we never want to feel like we get to the front and we go, okay? We've still got to have suppleness to our stroke. We've still got to have as much relaxation as we can. And remembering that we're just rolling back and forward, nice and continuous. Okay, think about that. Just think about this continuous motion. Does the recovery feel like it's just one easy flow back to the catch? Or does it feel like it happens in stages? Okay? The more continuous, the better it is. Okay? The smoother it is. Think about that. Nice flow. Good patience. Okay, so we're preparing again to up the rate. Just move with the machine. Here we go. Now, remembering we're not adding massive force, we're actually adding acceleration. Okay, good. And then, because that acceleration of the drive makes that part quicker, it flows into the speed of the recovery. Nice. Really good. Nice, good work. Okay, and that's it. We've increased our speed, we've increased our rate. Naturally, our heart rates will probably increase, but the idea is to make it feel like we haven't had to increase the direct output. Okay, we haven't had to go, right, got to make it go harder. We've allowed ourselves to feel the freedom, feel the speed of our recovery, and we've matched that with our change in direction. We've kept our nice relaxation of our hang. Okay? And we'll be going quicker than we were a couple of minutes ago. Okay? Very, very simple. Okay, so keep it smooth. Keep the hang nice under the armpits. Really good. Good slow, okay? Remember as well, around the finish, hands brush the body, flow away, speed in, speed out. Okay, so remember on the way down, patience, okay? Keep the drive now. A little bit more patience. Okay, we're in control of the flywheel slowing down. Okay, because it's eventually going to get back to where it was before we went up. Okay? But if we can keep on top of it as much as possible, then it might only slow down 10% every couple of strokes, okay? So it might take a minute to get back to the speed that it was before we went up. Okay, and if you can keep it moving, it might not go back to what it was previously. Okay, but good flow, good rhythm, stay loose and relaxed. Remember to self-check all the time. Your facial expressions, your breathing. Okay, and also there's a point just after the finish, just after we break the knees. Feel like we're suspended. We're not like right here, just rolling with it. Okay? There's no tension in the arms, no tension in the legs. We're just basically rolling back with the machine, ready to do it again. Okay? The more relaxation we have, the more output we can throw at it when we need to, the better overall speed of the entire workout that we're going to get. Okay, and remember that. It's about getting meters or seconds over a long period of time. We're not getting meters or seconds every 20 seconds. Okay? That's a lot of output. Okay, good. Really nice. Okay, so good set. Gave us time. There was a bit of changing up and down. Okay, really getting the feeling for that extra speed on the drive and recovery. It's a really important aspect, I feel personally, that the better off you can, especially at these low ratings, when you're going up and down, yes, you are going to be working harder, but it's sort of an indirect, workforce, okay? So just the fact that you're moving everything quicker and you're doing 2 extra strokes a minute is why you're working harder, okay? It's not because you're having to put in another 10% of power, okay? Everything's just moving quicker. You're adding a little bit more, and that's why your speed increases, okay? And the more that we can do that at an efficient rate, and what I mean by rate is the rate of change, then when we go to 24, or when we go to 26, or when we go to 28, we haven't had to add 10%. We've had to add maybe 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, okay? And then it makes it more manageable as we get higher and higher up in that rating, okay? So that's going to be what happens here on this set. We're going to get into a nice rhythm at 20. We're going to find a little bit of an increase at 22, and then the same again at 24. Okay, and that should be our goal for this piece. Here we go now. So what we want to do is, after a minute or two, we should be into our rhythm. Okay, and anyone that's had enough and they're out, well done, good couple of sets. For what we're doing here, we want to find our rhythm. We want to get onto a sustainable pace, which is aerobically sustainable. We're not overworking it. Okay, and then when we go up to 22 and then when we go up to 24, just remembering that we're using the fact that we're doing more strokes a minute as what's going to make us get that increase. Okay? So we focus now on our form, trying to ingrain the technique that we're going to carry right through this piece. And we really make sure we start here by being as efficient, as relaxed as we can be. Okay? Really working the parts of the stroke that each of us are trying to get better at. Relaxing when possible. Trying to be smooth. One push. Remember that on the drive. If we focus that now, we feel the push through the feet. And as we're pushing through the feet, we can feel the back starting to open out. We can feel the arms hanging off it. Okay, if we start feeling too much tension, it's because we're starting to use these little muscles in our forearms and our biceps like this. Okay? And that, like that, it's going to start to wear us down. Whereas we keep this hang, we let the big groups, these guys, this part, all we do is we hold on to what the big muscle groups are doing, and then we let the finish happen, we let it roll out onto the next stroke. Okay, good. So make sure there's no shoulder tension. Shake it out. Breathing into it. Okay, really feeling our machine like we were in that first set. Take us forward. The chain, naturally wanting to get back into the housing. We move with it. We roll. Okay, good. It's good patience. It's relaxation. Yes, we are still working the drive. So we're still creating our force. We're trying to make it as smooth and as sequential as we can with those groups. Okay, but we're trying to get as much patience and relaxation on the way forward as possible. Okay? So, remembering what I said at the start, all the parts of the stroke are going to speed up. Okay, here we go. 22. Now, and over the next 10-15 seconds, because we've just increased the whole overall shape and speed of the stroke, I'm pretty sure everybody has seen an increase in speed. Okay? Got faster. And now, because we've got that faster speed, we keep everything moving, and we now make this our new rhythm. That means we have to focus a little bit because our recovery, our rest time is slightly shorter. So any extra tensions that are unnecessary will have a big impact. Okay, but same approach for the acceleration. Move the hands. Okay, we just make it as continuous, metronomic as we can. Good. Nice long arms. Feel like we're pushing away from the handle. Okay, feel that relationship between the handle and the seat. Try and make it feel like they're moving at the same speed. Okay, good focus. Try not to have too much of a start-stop at the catch. Roll to press. Remembering that the peak force isn't until through the stroke. So we don't have to be super tense and tight of that catch. We just have to help the body get the connection. Okay, good. So just keep this flowing. Let the hands come to us around the finish. If we've got that good timing, legs and body, hands come to us. Very good. Can we just keep this moving? If we're got the same rhythm, should have a very equal speed. Okay, it might go up and down a little bit. That's okay. Means we're focusing on parts. Okay? If we focus on a part of our stroke, we get an increase. That's good. We get a decrease. Okay? Check what might not be happening. Okay, now, the last 5 minutes here, just remember, don't work too hard. A little bit more than the overall stroke, and sit back into the perpetual motion. Here we go. Now, so remember, just move everything a little bit quicker. Don't automatically go for more power on the drive. It's more accelerated, if anything. So it's basically just the maths of the machine. More stroke rate on same power equals faster speed. Okay? And hopefully we've all made that change. Now, About relaxing into it. Okay, under 4 minutes. Less than 100 strokes. Sit back. Hang long. Good. Smooth application. Roll in. Roll out. Roll in. Okay, we'll just keep this flywheel turning over. Smoothness around the catch. Really good. So focus with me on our hang, armpits, down into the lats. Remember, around the finish here, soft knees. Don't lock them out and try and get over like that. Okay? Soft knees. They just pop up once the hands are drawing the body forward. No harshness. We're flowing in to the recovery. Okay, very good. That's it. Okay, so we've just carried on this continuation. We've rolled with the speed. Yes, as I said, we're naturally working a little bit harder. So that's just been a byproduct of having to move a little bit faster. Okay, and here we are, last minute. Okay, really focus our smoothness, our relaxation, open the mouth. Good. Really nice. Patience. Just flow. Just like that. We're just continuing the flow. We've held a really good speed, really good relaxed rhythm. Okay, finish it off well. 5 more strokes. Boom. Just like that, okay? Right, great session. I don't know how much talking you guys needed to do, but I still a little bit. Maybe a bit tired. Okay, but hey, look, great session. Really, really good. Just felt like today was a good chance to knock out a good amount of time. Okay, really try and portray a lot of work around the technique. But at the same time, we had a few other things that we had to think about, which creates another level of complexity. But then at the end of it, that last set, we're able to put everything together. okay? Finishing it off, trying to finish it off well, okay? Get the right things in place that allow us to keep, honestly, you're never going to perfect the machine. I've been trying for years, okay? But as I said really early on, you're trying to find those meters, those seconds. You know, you sit on here for 5Ks at 20. You're like, yes, I was 3 seconds quicker than I've been a couple of weeks ago, okay? And that's what it's about. But those 3 seconds equate to, if you're just picking up the front, you're just not letting the flywheel slow down by a few revolutions. You know, like all of those little bits and pieces make for improvement, okay? And it does take quite a bit of time to just keep trying to find that to get that improvement, okay? Just press the menu button, save that workout into the memory, okay? Go back and have a check, see the increase in speed between each one, okay? But to recap, just really, when we're on the machine, especially doing training stuff, okay, like we're starting to work pretty hard towards the end of those pieces, okay, but we're working hard because of what we're doing, not how we're doing it, okay, because what we're trying to achieve is to move quicker with the machine, okay, that's what we're trying to do, and we're doing that with holding our form, but just moving faster, okay, we're not trying to make it like more powerful, okay? And if that's how we were trying to do it, it's not quite the way that we should be doing it, okay? We're not coming into the front going, right, I've got to make it go 24. I've got to try and pull or push harder, okay? If we're doing it with the speed of the machine, all we're doing is making our overall stroke rate a little bit higher, and that's how it's getting up, okay? And hopefully you saw that difference between the 20, the 22, the 24, just that all we're doing is just moving a little bit quicker, okay? And we try and keep the same form and focus, try and keep the same pickup, but it's just happening that little bit faster, that 5 to 10% quicker every stroke, okay? And if we keep that movement going, all of a sudden, we've got better numbers on screen, the rating's up. Yes, we don't have as much recovery time, which is why our heart rate keeps climbing, and it's why we naturally work harder, but it's the byproduct of having to just keep everything like ticking over, just keep everything moving, okay? And so the more we get to understand that over our time sitting on the machine, if we can try, inverted commas, to take that same thought process up through the ratings, you might find that it becomes, I'm not going to say easier, I'm going to say slightly more manageable when you get right up to that high stuff, okay? And yeah, when we get right above that 30 into that really high intensity stuff, yes, you've got to work hard, okay? No other real way to do it. But when we're on the machine, 90% of the work that we do is in a training position. We can't just sit on here and do pieces every day, okay? It's not going to work. So the more that we understand about relaxation now is even when we are at 32, we're trying to get that relaxation there, okay? Now, one thing, it's if you've ever seen Usain Bolt in slow-mo, okay, there's moments in his stride that he's trying to stay relaxed, okay? He's not trying to stay tense the whole time. There's relaxation just before his foot gets to the ground, right? And it's just like, wow, how's he doing that at 35, 40 Ks an hour, like pumping it along? And it's no different on the machine. There has to be places where we try and stay relaxed, because if we just keep building up tension and we just keep building up like the lactic acid as we get up high, we're really going to pay for it, okay? And as I say, it all stems from the fact that we're trying to find 1 meter, 2 meters, 5 meters maybe, or 1 second, or 2 seconds, or maybe it's point something of a second, okay? But every little piece
of relaxation, of whatever we can do to stay smooth with the machine will help us as individuals at the end of the day go faster than what we are currently now. Okay, and that's all we're trying to do. Okay, but great work, team. I don't think we crashed. Eric, still can't see how you hold the handle. Do you have your thumbs off the handle at the catch? So just clawing your fingers around the handle. Okay, Neil, that's a good question. No, my hands are like that, but I have more in my hands like this than I would with my thumbs gripped around underneath. Okay, the thumbs are there sort of holding, but most of it is through the fingers and through that. If I wanted to, I could row like that with my fingers. Okay, not probably going to get the most power, but in terms of relaxation, if we've got our thumbs gripped right up around under like that, it's too much. Okay, there's tension all up through here. Now, if it's just there resting and giving you like almost like an upward pressure, like that, okay, you've got your fingers hanging. It's very, very similar to, you know, lifting weights off the ground, is that you can't really get your thumbs right underneath. So you're trying to use that grip strength. Like, come on, we're all apes, right? You know, you're hanging on a chin-up bar. You're not really gripped the chin-up bar. There's more of that hang in your fingers than there is in thing. And so it's about finding a relaxation. As I say, if you're tensed here, this gets tense. Okay, and so then around the finish, because this is tense, you feel tension, and then it starts to travel up into here. And you feel your chest getting tight and your neck and all that sort of stuff. So every little bit of relaxation possible is good. Yeah, at the same time, yes, you're still got to be able to hold the handle. But remember, I've been doing this for like 30 plus years of well, yeah, about that. 25 years of rowing. So I've learned over time how to really just get that good grip strength from this, which allows me to do what I'm doing with the handle. Okay, but try and just see if you can be as relaxed as possible. Okay, keep it up into here. And as I say, like, even on the recovery sometimes, like I've said it a few times, like piano fingers, see if you can just, you know, you can still hold it like that with your thumb up, but just loosen out the hands. And then as you come in, you can rethink about it on this last part, okay? Because at the same time, remember what I said, you know, we want to have that relationship between the handle and the seat. Okay, if the handle comes back too far this way, we've lifted. Okay, if the seat goes like that, we've shot our feet out and we haven't got quite the thing. But if we've got the handle and the seat, especially in that part there moving at the same speed, it means that we've got connection through in there. Okay, and this all has part to play in that. Okay, too tense like this, we've got white knuckles. Okay, it's just probably a little bit too much. Okay, hope that answers. Yeah, and when I draw to the finish, like if you watch this video and you pause it at the thing, I'm hardly ever touching my body. Okay, there's no point in touching your body. For anybody that left the force curve on, or if you just want to jump on and have a look for yourselves, guys, like once you've gone through the stroke and you're like your arms are here, that force curve's just about hitting the bottom of the screen. So what's the point in doing that? It's hard work, okay? But if you were just to do that and just let it go, so I sort of have the connection in the hands to here, and then that almost feels like I let the fingers start the relaxation like that as I go forward. Okay, so hope that answers that. Thanks, Eric. Thanks, Sam. Carlos, happy to see the easy one today. Two things. Watched a lot of the World Indoor Rowing Champs this weekend. Radically different rowing styles. Some look super inefficient, but they're still fast. There's a lot to speak on. Absolutely. If you still look at the way that people were doing things, you'll still see the same common themes that people are trying to get their legs and body moving together. Okay. The other thing too is that you're working in an anaerobic zone. So higher the rate, the more power that you can produce, absolutely, okay, you're going to produce some good power, okay. Short work, yeah, doesn't matter, honestly. Short stuff, if you're here to do 500-meter stuff, I'm probably not the coach for you, because that shit is just power it as hard as you can. But at the same time, Robro, you'll find that they still have an element of power to recovery. Now, the recovery might look ugly, but there's probably still a piece where they're trying to, even though they might look a bit hunched over and coming forward and that sort of stuff, they're still trying to find that efficiency, okay? And the other thing that I'll say about it, these guys will be spending 10, 12 hours, 15 hours a week training, at least, okay? There's no way that you get to that level by just doing 3 or 4 sessions a week, okay? Most of these guys will be training twice a day, 5, 6 days a week, okay? And so if you want to really get some good speed out of your rowing, if you really want to take yourself to another level, you've got to try and get onto a good program that will push you beyond your limits, okay? We've got a couple of good ones with the sensei, but if you really want to go to another level, you need more, okay? And it's as simple as that. Trying to get as much time in the saddle as you can. It's why the cyclists and that go so well. It's just time on the seat. Second, I find myself pushing off more the balls of my feet rather than the whole foot. No, that's exactly what you want to be doing, okay? Remembering that when you come into the catch, your feet should lift up. The very first part is pushing from like straight through here, okay? And then as you get through to about here, you're probably just right near the peak force is where you will be onto that full part of the stroke to really feel that body. Once the body's levering through this part here and the body's levering through the hips is when you basically see like you've got the whole foot there. Okay, there's no way you can still be up like that. Okay, no way you'll be like that. But the very first initial part, yes, is basically directly through that bottom of that foot, and it's just that push, and then it comes through. You'll feel the change. Okay, but yes, at the start of it, to get that flexion in the foot, you've got to come up to here. Okay, there's no I don't even know if I could row with flat feet, to be honest. But in that, if we were doing short stuff, you know how I talk about that natural length that we get to, you know, and I'm saying don't worry about the length. That's probably where you're only just off the flat. You've only just come up, and you'll be like, that's where your power will be like that. Okay, but it changes from nice, relaxed rowing stroke to the absolute power. When you're doing this power, you will be right on the foot plate, okay? So just have a look at it when you do some fast stuff another time. You will see the difference between long and steady, getting that length and relaxation to when you're doing short stuff, okay? Thanks, team. Thanks, everyone. Awesome. Thanks a lot, team. Great session. I think we're actually back at the earlier time next week, so that should be good. Got to get up at 4 o'clock. Love it. All good. And yeah, otherwise, great workout. Good time in the seat. Thanks for tuning in. Keep it up. Remember, social distance, wear a mask, go get vaccinated or boosted, whatever you need to do. And as I say, thanks from me and the team at Sensei. First time back since COVID. Oh, yeah, shit. Arthur, hope you're doing well. Remember, take it slow. So, yeah, keep it up, everybody. Keep the plans going. Keep doing what you need to. Keep focused on the relaxation. Remember, it's you versus the machine. Let the machine do the work, and just keep trying to do as much as you can to keep your speed moving on. Okay? Awesome work, guys. We will see you guys next week. Until then, thank you very much, and we'll see you later. Peace out.